Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News on a massive day yesterday. The first weekend of the playoffs is over. 4 teams remain in the North American side. FaZe with certainly a few words to say here for 100 Thieves after they arguably threw away some of the rounds in this series. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Really up to the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Firstly, wanted to mention this. Hex has been doing this on the OpTic side with the Call of Duty roster and now also the Valorant roster, getting them these, honestly, these are really sick, like, effectively diamond chains with the OpTic logo on them after winning the, of course, well, Masters 1. Whether they can go back-to-back, that remains to be seen, but still, they're on a good trajectory to do exactly that. One more series victory against xTet will guarantee their return to Masters 2 in Copenhagen, where they can eventually defend their crown, and they're already guaranteed to at least be going to Champions, right? So OpTic right now are certainly killing it in the Valorant world, but of course, the European side is going to have some words to say about that, and the other regions as well. Speaking of OpTic, if you guys have been around a few years in esports, you might well know that OpTic, when they were kind of part of Infinite Esports, I believe, also owned as kind of an OpTic gaming brand, they owned the Houston Outlaws briefly. Now, the Houston Outlaws Overwatch League team are now owned by Beasley Broadcast. It was kind of like this Beasley guy was potentially involved in one of the OpTic deals. It got a bit messy. But this organization also has a roster in the Rocket League side and apparently will be looking to move into Valorant. They've apparently applied for Valorant franchising. That seems rather unlikely, but if they don't get it, Bodork says that he reckons they're actually going to try and focus on the North American Tier 2 scene. So not sure what this team's going to be called. It's not going to have the same branding, I would imagine, but it might do. Who knows what they decide to do. But yeah, apparently some organizations, the likes of the Houston Outlaws, might try and come into Valorant and kind of focus on the Tier 2 side, because not sure how many organizations are still going to be there to focus on Tier 2 Valorant, because if you don't make it into franchising, like there's not that much to play for, arguably, for a lot of these organizations, right? So we'll see what they decide to do, but this is certainly a storyline to keep your eyes on. Let's talk the EMEA playoffs then, right? So the first weekend of that has come to a close as well. Angel and Co, like, I mean, yeah, Angel was going to finesse it on fools during the FPX series we'll discuss here in a second, but the first series was Liquid versus M3C. This is an incredibly important losers bracket game to move on to the tournament. Yampy had a pretty disgusting round here on the Icebox. Team Liquid won game 1, but then it's M3C that bounced back in the series, win 2 straight maps, and they take the series at 2-1 in the end. This is a massive 1 versus 3 clutch here from Dephh to close it out. Here on the bind, of course, gets this first kill. Like, the second kill here on Navera, or the third kill, I suppose, of the clutch is like, how quick was he here? Kind of incredible scenes. And yeah, Dephh manages to clutch this up, still has 70 health remaining. Not sure how they let that one happen. The 13-6 in the end, Team Liquid out of there. M3 champions move onwards and upwards. Well, certainly for their perspective, they of course will need to win a little bit more if they want to qualify for Masters once again. One final series they're going to need to win if they want to make that happen. But Chronicle, Redgun, Nat, all of these guys turn up, and Dephh, when it mattered most, the 1v3 to close out the series. But yeah, Team Liquid, not the result they were looking for. I wonder what they'll do going forwards, whether this team will be the same, because Scream at Navera, not been quite as of late the same force they were, you could argue, at the end of last season. Let's talk about the other series then, Ascend versus FPX. This was a crazy ace, firstly here from cNed, right? Like, he was doing what he did best here over at this Haven. Look at this, gets the first kill, teleports out with the Chamber. Man, we see Chamber doing a lot of crazy stuff lately, and even Dicey, after the series he played against 100 Thieves later on, like, it made his thoughts known on Chamber as well. I mean, look at this, 1-2, gets the ace as well. That was beautiful, but I mean, yeah, Chamber just this is like a vintage Chamber stuff, and when these players are really getting used to him now, he's so strong, but he is also very entertaining to watch a good player use Chamber to his utmost ability. Then it goes all the way, FX bounce back as pretty much expecting the series. They end up going 9-0 on the final map. It becomes 9-3, but then they close this series out regardless. 2-1 for FPX, Ascend out of the tournament there. They will not be moving through to Masters 2 in Copenhagen, and FPX will still have a chance to do exactly that. Great series was up for them. cNed, honestly, like, look, he tried his best, this guy. It didn't work out for him though. So of course there was some rumors last season that there was offers after he won Champions to go and join 100 Thieves. I wonder if he's kind of thinking now that maybe he made a mistake on that front, or whether he's just wondering what the future holds for him, because there's no guarantees that Ascend get a spot in franchising next year, and who knows what happens with World Championship qualification and all that stuff to come as well. This then is the bracket. So the winner of FPX versus M3C coming up this Friday gets the last spot in, of course, in Masters 2, whereas Guild Fnatic have the first 2 locked up. So that's an absolutely banger series, but this is how the bracket looks. Let's talk North America then, right? So as Derek says, getting underway once again. The first series though was really interesting. My predictions yesterday actually were surprisingly good. Got both of them right, would you believe it? And well, NRG played EG. Game 1 though does not go their way at all. Like, EG kind of dominated this one, to be honest. It was pretty comfortable for them. Here on the bind, checks this corner, but gets absolutely obliterated regardless, which is pretty unfortunate scenes. Just missed the head wall bag. And well, I mean, yeah, look at that 2-piece here from EG a path, and then finishes off the job as well. But I mean, yeah, here we go. NRG bounce back on this second map. This got pretty suspect towards the end, I must say, here on the Ascend. end. Like, they were a pretty substantial advantage, lost a couple of 5 versus 4s, and then a very nice crossfire here from Som and EU to end up, well, taking this game to the game 3, and they win at the map 3 as well. They were down at this point 5-1, like, EU made up, I mean, I don't know what he's doing here with the Classic to make this clutch work. Com got absolutely destroyed, but in the end, it's NRG that come back and win this series 13-11 in the final map of the series, take down Evil Geniuses. I thought EG probably should be the favourites here marginally, but I just had a feeling that NRG were going to pull something out the bag here, because I feel like it's been about time. This NRG team is good. They didn't really show it, honestly, in the qualification games, but they won that crucial series against the Guard to do so, and since then, they've been looking very good indeed in the lower side. EG have looked really good as of late, but in the end, just couldn't clutch up when it mattered, and it's Ethan and Co that move on in the tournament. They need 1 more series victory, actually no, 2 more series victories if they want to qualify for Masters. Only 2 spots in North America, 3 spots in Europe. But yeah, congratulations to NRG. They've certainly, I think, proved a lot of people wrong. Excited for the future of this roster as well. 2-1 over Evil Geniuses. They fall out of the tournament. Lots of good teams here in the North American side. I mean, Jorgemo, like, he had a great series again, but Som, Tex, these guys took over. And yeah, I think Tex especially, I mean, look at this first kill to first death ratio. 18 first kills on the chamber, 4 first deaths. Like, and Som has pretty similar numbers as well. These were the kind of the critical numbers for winning this series at the end of the day. Let's talk the final series then, FaZe versus 100 Thieves. This was an absolute cracking series. Like, wow, like, there were so many good moments here. Don't know what the hell happened here with Poise to get those 2 kills through the smoke effectively. But yeah, FaZe up this game 1, 7-4, quickly became 8-4. But again, it seems the curse was starting to hit FaZe right here. I mean, like, 100 Thieves come all the way back, send it to overtime, and win it in the overtime again. So I was thinking, like, after the other day, when it was that 9-3 advantage that consistently FaZe would throw away, and FaZe and 100 Thieves would manage to win in the first series they played, like, and even we talked about yesterday, there were the big storyline. The fact that they were rematching this early is arguably very questionable. But I mean, look, still 100 Thieves have done it again. Down 8-4, they win game 1, and then game 2 started off in a similar way as well, where they go down 9-3 on the Fracture. Firstly, I'm very surprised they decided to play Fracture here against, I mean, look at Dicey, man. Dicey is just disgusting on this map. It's outrageous, like with the Yob and also with this. Like, on the chamber, this guy's out of control, and he has consistent moments like this as well, even with the rifles. Like, this is Dicey's map, and I'm just kind of surprised that they let him have it, honestly, here on the Fracture. But I mean, yeah, this is just, I mean, look at this stuff. He was doing this all series long, and I'm sure 100 Thieves were kind of looking back and they're thinking, damn, you know, when Dicey was on our team, that was pretty good fun. But and he decides to, well, give it back to them, I suppose, and get revenge in a way. They take it to a game 3, as Hayes says, surely they can't throw one on a 9-3. And well, they manage not to, just about. They hold off the series. And yeah, Dicey and Asuna, man, watching them go against each other. Asuna was on fire yesterday. Dicey was as well. Like, since they won first strike, I guess, back on 100 Thieves back in the day. Like, I'm now on different teams facing each other. It's just good to see Big D followed by Icy on a good team again, because I mean, this guy is so much fun to watch when he's on form, and it's FaZe that win at the final map of the series. This was so closely contested here on the breeze, like super back and forth as well. Well, actually, FaZe had a 7-1 advantage in the first half, and that was on their offensive side that 100 Thieves managed to bring back to a respectable CT performance, and then in the end, it's just FaZe that have a little bit too much, right? And Poise takes 3, and Superman gets the clutch in the end to give them the advantage, and well, just about FaZe close this series out. They lose 2-1 in the end, 100 Thieves. Eco's killed us, right? There were so many critical rounds. Like, in fairness, Asuna bailed them out on so many occasions and won the many rounds that they probably shouldn't have. But yeah, losing to Ecos in the way that they did was, and just the lack of discipline at times was frustrating, I'm sure, for 100 Thieves fans. And this time around, they looked honestly kind of the second best team against FaZe when they played them first. This time, FaZe kind of get their revenge, I suppose. We'd be better for the LCQ. So yes, 100 Thieves are out of it, but well, they're out of playoffs. They're out of course, the qualification attempt for Masters 2, but they will at least still be at the last chance qualifier to go again. But FaZe move on to top 4 here in the playoffs. Very impressive performance from them. And yeah, Dicey's kind of letting his thoughts be known as well, because he was killing it this series as well. And this just to mention Dicey's performances recently. Everyone keeps saying, at least I've mentioned it a couple of times, like that surely Dicey can't be this consistent, right? He can't consistently drop 1.5 KDs every single series he plays. These are his last 6 series, right? We've just seen the one against 100 Thieves, plus 26, plus 24 against LG, plus 26 again in the first series. They lost 100 Thieves, plus 13 against EG, plus 15 against Sentinels, plus 16 against C9, right? So he's been absolutely going off on the main stage lately. Has not had a bad series in a very long period of time. And even some of the trash talk here coming for babybay, he certainly likes to throw a few daggers in when he can. As Will says, 1-2 versus FaZe, no words. I could have played way better. These thrifties are going to haunt me forever, he says. I'm certainly sure that'll haunt a lot of 100 Thieves fans as well. And as babybay says, like, he admits himself he didn't play great. But yeah, me and you were some straight ass today, no cap, right? So I thought it was kind of funny. Basically just throwing the, salt in the wounds here with Will and 100 Thieves. Like, yeah, you played pretty terrible, mate. Like, you should feel pretty bad for losing that, because I played bad, but at least I still won the series, right? So yeah, the trash talk was, I don't know, like, like, whether you think this is valid or not, like, I still thought it was kind of funny, to be honest. So anyway, babybay and FaZe, they move on in the tourney, they get their revenge up against 100 Thieves for their kind of first round defeat that they had, and as I say, arguably, the bracket should have been flipped so that FaZe didn't play 100 Thieves so soon. I would like to see this matchup later on in the tourney, but you know, still, it is what it is. Asuna played phenomenal, right, but as he says, losing to Ecos just sucks. LCQ is next up, right, so nothing to play for now for Asuna until the last chance qualifier in a month and a bit or so's time. 100 Thieves are out of it for the near future at least, and as Hayes says, FaZe were our main scrim partners, and it seems it was highly beneficial for both teams. This match is going to be interesting. They play in just a few days' time, FaZe versus NRG. Like, that is not the bracket that I predicted it to be. This was game 1 here on the split. Game 2 was 13-10. Game 3, 13-11. FaZe won 2 crucial maps, but look at this from Dicey, man, on the chamber. 69-43, plus 26. Like, I mean, yeah, 19-7 in terms of first kill, first deaths. Like, this guy was having so much impact, and really it was only Asuna on the other side that was doing his best, but yeah, the amount of thrifties that they lost was not something that they're going to be happy with going forwards as well. I'm sure, like, Gez was screaming at himself and putting his hair up behind the scenes, but yeah, they go top 6 in the ends, arguably slightly better than people were expecting, at least with this new team when it was initially formed, but still, I thought they could do better than this tournament, to be honest. But FaZe, fair play to them, they looked really good. So this is the bracket: xNed versus OpTic. The winner of that guarantees their spot at Masters 2. The winner of NRG FaZe goes on to the losers finals to play, of course, the loser of this other final. So yeah, that all kicks off 24th, OpTic versus xNed, and then we find out who are going to be the 2 teams in North America to qualify as well. And just to mention this before we close out, the top players of this weekend's the North America VCT playoffs: Victor, Ye, Marved, no surprises there, but Dicey, like, despite having played way more rounds and maps than pretty much everyone else, still maintains an incredibly high rating. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button, tell us on YouTube, God, does a good video, and also like you should see it as well, and I grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you as always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.
Wait, he's just letting them in?
Fan. I just told her I loved her today, and she yelled DEALLLLL.
100 Thieves to win this.
Should I be worried, or do I propose on the spot?
What the? Wait! No!